too often we also see, Julia, people who have gone to auction without lining their ducks up in a row, and they've gone and bid at auction, and let's say they've bought us $850,000 property, and they're now due for a 10% deposit on the fall of the hammer. And so they're like, oh, that's okay. I've got $85,000 in my offset account, so I'm just going to wire $85,000 across as the 10% deposit. What's the problem with that if I wanted to basically make that a loan that I ultimately want to be able to, claim against with my investment property?
The key word here is you can't owe money to yourself. So when you get it all sorted and you say to the bank, right, I want to borrow the whole $850,000 and, I'll give you some equity in my own home so that it stacks up. And they give you that and you go, well, 85,000 of that goes back into my offset account because that's where it came from. There's no nexus. So now 10% of that borrowing, the interest on that borrowing is not tax deductible because all it did was go into your own savings account. It's not borrowed to produce income. Once you paid something down off the original purchase price, it's gone. There is a way around this if you're onto it before settlement. So what you say at settlement, I want my deposit back and I want the bank to give the full purchase price as the borrowed funds. That's the only way you can untangle that. Otherwise, you lose 10%, whatever your deposit is. And if you're still trying to pay off non-deductible debt, that's sad, very sad.
That is super important because how many people do you think would inadvertently do that, Ben? Like, because the way that we structure it up is we get the funds ready to go so that then when someone's ready to purchase, they've got the dominant purpose for the funds all ducks lined up in a row. But what Julia just described, I can imagine that's happening multiple times every Saturday of every week for people who are uninformed and ignorantly uninformed that, I'm just temporarily lending myself the money until I get it at settlement.
So lucky you get a second chance because, in a lot of respects, if you don't sequence things correctly from a tax point of view, there's no luxury, there's no second chance from the ATO. But what Julia said, the second chance is that you obviously then get all of the funds to go back in on the completion and you get the real estate agent to pay you back that deposit. So you can show the clear nexus of money coming back into the account and then where those final borrowings gone. Now, that's going to be a pain in the bum for the real estate agent. They're not going to be too happy about that, right? But that's the reality of not doing it the right way the first time in terms of setting up your ducks all in a row.